Welcome back to the show. Elaine Boosler, my next guest, a very funny woman who will be featured on a new NBC comedy series this fall. She is also an extremely popular nightclub performer and opens this Friday night at Resorts International. Take a bus, go on over there. That's located in Atlantic City, New Jersey. Please welcome Elaine Boosler.
Thank you. I'm real happy to be here. I love this show. And David said I'll be in Atlantic City Friday. I like going there. I think it's so fascinating to watch people gamble. I noticed that women seem to like the slot machines a lot more than men do. I don't know why. I think it's something about being able to do this for an hour and a half without having to say I love you. Well, you know, it's hard doing comedy. When you start out, you have to do a lot of different jobs. And I was a waitress for a while. I didn't like it at all. I never liked when women would order through the man. You know, he ordered. She wouldn't talk to you. She wouldn't even look at you. I used to put both plates down in front of the man. The lady will have soup. The lady will have biscuits. Are those ladies' biscuits? Yes. Up, lady. Up, up. Well, you know, it makes it seem like there can only be one lady. The lady will have coffee. Okay, the slut'll go get it. When you work around food, you get very sensitive to it. And it's a problem for me because I live alone. And with those expiration dates, I have not beat a quart of milk to the deadline yet. It's awful. I don't know. I like living alone because you never have to clean up. Well, it's true. I find things in the refrigerator. I have to figure out what they used to be. Last week, I was throwing out this lime, and I said, I don't even buy limes. And I realized that used to be a head of lettuce. Now you clean the kitchen floor when you live alone. Just walking there barefoot, whatever sticks to your feet, you take off, you throw away. Make up your own rules when you live by yourself. You could throw half a cake in the garbage so you won't eat any more cake when you wake up in the morning. You could wake up and have breakfast right out of the garbage. Oh, I'm so glad I didn't take this out to the big can last night. Sometimes you get a little bonus. Oh, M&Ms, and they stayed in the bag. You think I'm disgusting? Hey, look, I clean up sometimes. You know, if company's coming, oh, I'll wipe the lipstick off the milk container. You ever do this when you're vacuuming? You ever go for a match 50 times? Then you pick it up and look at it, but you don't throw it away. You put it back, give the vacuum another chance. I think I don't clean up, but I mean, I do clean up a little. I'll do laundry, and laundry's wonderful when you live alone. It's real easy. You know, 15 minutes before a date, I wash out a pair of underwear, put them on, and dry them with a hair blower. But I don't like cleanup because my mother cleaned up so much. I mean, she was so proud of it. You know, she would say things like, look, you could eat off my floor. You could eat off my floor, too. There's thousands of things down there. I'm not too good in the kitchen. I take vitamins. When they drop, they always roll under the refrigerator. Everything you drop rolls under the refrigerator. You could be in another room. It'll find its way under there. You don't clean under there. Jimmy Hoffa's probably under refrigerator someplace. I have 5 years of vitamins under my refrigerator. Ooh, I'll probably come home one night, find a 6-foot roach in Adidas saying, I feel good. I'm actually very happy that I can afford my own apartment. If you read the newspapers, you know that there's a lot of people sleeping in the streets these days. Economy's not too good. And New York, like every city, has its very good newspapers and its very sleazy newspapers. I was walking past Washington Square Park last night, and there was a shopping bag lady sleeping on a bench, really shivering. I felt awful. I picked up a nearby newspaper. I started to cover her with it, and she started to mumble. And I couldn't hear, so I kept wrapping the newspaper around her tighter, and she went like this. And so I leaned down to hear what she was whispering, and she said, not the Post! Not the Post! You know, the Post is a weird newspaper. Front page today of the New York Times said, Congress debates Reagan budget. Front page of the Post said, bizarre ceremony, Brooklyn woman weds cheese Danish. No shame. Reagan's budget is not working. You know that if you're old, or I mean, it's just too much. Well, it was interesting that Stockman told us last year the budget had no chance of working to begin with. I think the next time President Reagan is given a math problem, he should be forced to show all work on a separate piece of paper. Aren't you glad the Reagans aren't Jewish? Do you know what it would have cost to buy Nancy 2 sets of those dishes? Now, all the conservatives in Congress are trying to pass the Human Life Amendment. You know what that amendment says? It says an unborn fetus becomes a human being as soon as the mother lights up a cigarette. Now, why don't they just make birth control easier? That would be wonderful. There's no easy way, especially for women. They're having a lot of trouble with IUDs now, starting to pick up CB radio signals. Middle of crowded supermarket. Strangers here. Come in, good buddy. It's amazing, but people are breastfeeding everywhere now. I don't mind it, except if I'm in a restaurant with my boyfriend and he sees somebody breastfeeding at the next table. He can never find anything that looks good on the menu after that. He always says, I'll just have what he's having.
Elaine Boosler, have a seat if you don't mind.
Oh, I don't mind.
Yeah, how you doing?
Good, how are you?
Fine, nice to see you.
Thank you, I love your show.
Thank you very much. I appreciate you being here. You're from this neck of the woods, as they say when they mean neck of the woods.
Yeah, I grew up in New York, Brooklyn, and Manhattan, and I love it.
You started your career here?
Not right here. I was
No, I know.
about 2 blocks from here. But, yeah, I started out when the Improvisation was owned by Bud Friedman, and it was the Improvisation in those days.
What is it now?
It's now the Improvisation owned by someone else. And,
Oh, yeah.
Yeah, well, you know, you can fly in from the coast for 5 hours and ask to go on for free, and they will give you 12 minutes. So I don't go there too much. But it's still a good club, and there's lots of good acts there. And,
Yeah. Was it from the beginning? Is that what you wanted to be?
You mean when I was real little?
Yeah,
No,
when you were
I
young,
was-
you wanted to be a comic?
I don't think any girl, like at 5 years old, sees Dangerfield on this night show and says, "That's it for me." No, I think I basically got fired from everything else, and then this was left. And I was singing. I was a singer and a dancer, and then I just fell into this. I was waitressing at the Improv,
And
the
you-
old Improv.
The old Improv, the one that Bud Friedman owned.
used to own,
Not the one
yeah.
that Tom Carvel now owns. It's a whole different operation.
whale
there.
and Santa
Fudgy
being
the
the
Whale,
same
yes.
mold, I know.
And you'd be in New Jersey Friday night?
Yeah, and
Terrific.
Saturday and Sunday.
Great, I'm glad you were here.
Thank you.
Elaine
Me too.
Boosler, folks. We'll be right back. Paul Schaefer, you know, it's a... Oh, I have to say something here. Do we have time to do this right now, Mr. Sand? A couple of months ago, a young woman by the name of Elaine Boosler was on this television program, and sure, go ahead. The same people applauded Pittsburgh, now applauding Elaine. Obviously just hoping to win prizes. Well, forget it. Elaine, a very talented young comedian, was on the program, and she talked about working at a club here in New York City called The Improvisation. The owner of that club phoned and said, 1, the club is not now, nor was it ever, owned by Tom Carvel. 2, the people who perform in her club are paid performers. Thank you very much. That takes care of that. Hi there. My next guest is a very funny woman who is making her second appearance on this program. She will be appearing at Resorts International in Atlantic City later this month. We have bus information in the lobby. She will also be at the Bottom Line right here in New York City this weekend. Please welcome a gifted stand-up comedian, Elaine Boosler.
Thank you for playing Pac-Man Fever for me. Are they wonderful? You can't walk in the city without seeing Pac-Man everywhere. People are addicted to this game, and I wanted to know why, because it's so interesting to me. I realized a lot of Jewish people like Pac-Man, and I realized that Pac-Man is the history of the Jewish people being chased while eating. And doesn't it kind of sound like your mom? I'm in a very strange mood. I'm having a birthday coming up, and it's hard. I don't want to get that much older. But I mean, not, gradually be okay. But it's hard. I'm not as wild as I used to be. I don't just stay out randomly overnight anymore. I have to think about it now. I ask myself questions first. I say, would I be spending the night in this guy's apartment if I knew that I had Haagen-Dazs home in the freezer? I don't really like waking up someplace else anymore. I don't like waking up 15 miles from my own toothbrush, When you sleep in eye makeup, your eyes heal shut overnight. I wake up, one side of my hair is completely stuck down to my cheek. The other side's looking for the space shuttle. Where did it go? The guy looks great. It's his apartment. He's in the kitchen making coffee there. You stumble in. You have to put on your clothes from Saturday night. Nice V-neck black dress, black high heels. It's now Sunday morning. You look like the whore of Babylon. It's real easy to put on your stockings from the night before. Here's the toe, here's the heel, here's the knee. God, stumble into the kitchen, you look like a shopping bag woman. Guys are so wonderful, they still think you look wonderful. Hey, what do you want for breakfast? Eggs, coffee, toast? Do you have any Trident? Oh, guys are so sweet, they think you look great. They're ready to go out to the beach like that. Come on, let's drink this coffee and go out to the beach. I want to go home and burn these clothes. It's not any more fun having a guy stay at your apartment because I don't want to see him wake up with his hair down and I think people would feel much better if 3 o'clock in the morning on Sunday morning, a helicopter flew low over the city and you heard, attention, attention, back to your own little beds now. Oh, well, I'm sorry you have to go. Oh, that's okay. I have some Haagen-Dazs home in the freezer. I don't know. I think, I'm getting a little older. I might like to live with someone. I'm hesitant. I don't know if I can really be myself living with someone because, a guy sees you stay in bed for 3 weeks. He thinks something's wrong. I love to sleep. Oh, my God. My theory is if you don't have the money, why get up? So nice to be in that bed, and I feel guilty because you're supposed to live each day as if it were your last, and I live each day as if the day before it had been my last. You know how you read in the paper, sometimes people die for a couple of minutes and the doctors bring them back? I have this fantasy I'll die and the doctors will be bringing me back and I'll open my eyes and say, 5 more minutes. It's nice in that bed. You ever get into bed with 5 new magazines and a pound cake? Magazines say September, it's only August. You got your whole life ahead of you. I get a little hungry at night. When you live by yourself, for some reason, you like to eat in the middle of the night. I don't know what it is, boy, but I don't smoke pot because when you live alone, you eat like that anyway. 4 o'clock in the morning, whatever you find is okay. Oh, time for one of my tuna fish and Cocoa Puffs casserole. I eat things in the middle of the night I would not eat at noon at gunpoint. Sit down with a nice big bowl of cereal and water. You ever just open a jar of mustard? I don't want you to think I'm some weird hermit or something. I actually do have someone. In fact, tonight's our anniversary. 2 years. 2 years. Oh, thank you. It's my first really adult, mature relationship.
Happy anniversary, Bunny Froggy Nose.
2 years. That's a silver anniversary in California. It's nice. It's not, we're not married. We're not living together. It's kind of 2 years of, look, I'm divorced. I can't make a commitment. I don't want you to see other people. And if you do, I don't want to know about it, okay? That's what it is. It's nice. And I noticed that the first year passion is so wonderful and passionate. And the second year it kind of weakens a little bit. How do you keep it exciting? I'd like to know. I don't know. You read, they say, tell your lover what you want. Have you ever tried that? They don't take it well.
Honey, why don't you put on a monkey costume?
What? Nothing. Tell your lover what you want. How do you tell him you want somebody else just for one night?
Oh, but honey, what does the Hell's Angel have to do with what we have?
Well, I'm so glad I could make you laugh here tonight, and I would just like to say that I really don't agree with stars and celebrities using their stature for political issues or anything. But since I'm not really a star or a celebrity, I would like to say that we love you, Florida and North Carolina and Illinois and Oklahoma. Please ratify the ERA, okay? Thank you very much.
on the monkey suit, huh? It's just a joke. You don't own a monkey suit, do you?
No, I don't.
Any of that ever come up? A monkey suit? Hell's Angels?
No, I'm a pretty dull person.
Nah, you're an exciting person.
Thank you.
Yeah.
But David, that's coming from you. I think I'm a pretty dull person. I'm kidding. That's very nice.
Now, let me, you know Paul, don't you?
Yeah, I do.
I like to introduce folks when they come out. Tell me about the, now, you said 2 years, sort of this nebulous relationship?
No, it's not nebulous. It's very defined. We're both on eggshells for 2 years, and I take it slow. It's real nice and slow.
Any chance you'll be getting married, do you think?
Well, it's a very warm, loving, open relationship, and we give each other a lot of space. You know, I'm here, and this is Wednesday. It's his hooker night. I don't know.
You know Paul, don't you?
I do know Paul.
Yeah. Now you're just teasing. Now what would 2 years and a nice enough guy? I met him. Seemed like a decent sort.
Oh, you did meet him, yes.
Yeah.
He's cute. He's a nice guy.
Yeah.
Marriage scares me because it's really the only thing, the only ceremony in our country that you need witnesses for. And I think it's because everybody, the minute it happens, they start denying it. You know? All right, bring those two in here. You saw it, yes.
And you're going to be at the bottom line.
Yeah,
He said, now that's a
bottom
rock and roll club. You get beat up, huh?
I hope so, because the monkey suit's getting dull. No, it's a rock and roll club, but I'll be with Tom Paxton, so maybe he can kind of catch whatever's thrown at us. And it's a nice place. It's in the Village, and I remember, you know, I'm excited to be there because years ago when I was starting, I walked in, and, you know, there weren't that many women working comedy then, and I kind of went into the owner, Alan Pepper, and I said, I'd really like to work your club. And he said, what do you do? And I said, I'm a comedian. And he said, what are you, a comedian?
Alan Pepper?
Alan Pepper.
Alan Pepper, okay. I'll tell you what, we're going to pause for a commercial. I'm going to introduce Elaine to Paul, and then we'll bring out director John Carpenter later today. By the way, be sure to watch tomorrow night, Elevator Races Part 3. Clara McAllister is coming back. Is this correct? Defending champion will be here tomorrow night. My next guest, I'm sorry, a week from Friday. My next guest is a very funny comedian who's been on our show several times, and she's here again tonight. She'll be appearing at the Bottom Line here in New York on September 11th. Please welcome back Elaine Boosler.
Have a seat.
Well, I understand it says here it's your birthday.
Yes,
happy birthday.
Thank you. I feel terrible.
Oh, no.
I don't feel terrible because it's my birthday. I feel terrible because I just ran over this little old terrier in the parking lot.
Good Lord.
Well, he was blind in one eye. He didn't
oh,
see me, you know. I hope it's not, but I think it is. So.
You know, it's too bad you said that, Elaine, because we had a lovely ice cream cake for your birthday.
Tom sends some. He's very cool. He sent some ice cream to my dressing room.
Oh, that was very sweet.
I know.
How old... I can't ask you how old you are. How old are you? I can ask you that, can't I?
Yeah, you can ask me. I'm 60, and I think I look real good. I'm I left my 20s. I'm 2010 now.
Oh, so you're 30.
I'm 30.
Yeah. That's no big deal.
Yes, it is if you're just become it.
Now,
especially if you've slept through your 20s. Then
you did pretty much sleep right through them, huh?
Pretty much, yeah.
Now, you're traveling all of the time. You're going to be at the Bottom Line. Now, how does this affect your personal life?
Well, you can have a personal life on the road, but you have to have it with strangers.
Mm-hmm.
But you'd be surprised how quickly they become. No, it's the. I don't know. It's the same anywhere. It's hard, you know. I'm now, and all my friends are having children, and I feel my biological clock inside probably sounds like the beginning of 60 Minutes, you know. It's running out, and they have these kids, and they're so proud of it. They have this natural childbirth, no drugs, until the kid's 2 and they can't take it anymore. And it's true, my friend Susan had a baby, and I said, no drugs at all? No? 24 hours in labor, no drugs. I said nothing. She said, just a little near the end, a little. How do they do this? I don't know. That's a big commitment for me.
Yeah.
I travel. It's fine. You meet people. It's. I don't want to make you cry or anything. It's enjoyable. It's very nice, and I think it's just as hard to meet people that you can really get along with at home as on the road. See, I think it's the burden on men usually to pick you up in the street, and if you don't hear "stick 'em up," you don't often stop. You know.
Yeah.
That's about the best opening line. So, when I lived in Manhattan, I'd walk out, and guys would have the worst lines to try and meet you. It's not their fault. It's just an awkward situation. I mean, I'd be walking down the street and cut-offs, a cup of coffee, a newspaper, and a dog, and the guy would say, "Hey, live around here?" No, the dog's a marathon runner. We're heading back to Boston immediately. It's hard, I think.
Yeah.
Construction workers.
Meet a lot of construction workers.
Well, I don't stop, but I love them. I think they're fabulous because I think they have more confidence than anyone else on earth because they say to 5,000 women a day, "Hey, can I go with you?" And they get rejected 5,000 times a day. And they get a good night's sleep and they're ready to start all over again.
That's Do you find that happens anywhere besides New York City, that construction workers just line up for the purpose of yelling at women?
Yes, when I play Japan, they go, "Eh, can I?" No, I don't. I wonder. I don't know. Are other cities under this much construction?
Well, that's true.
The thing about them is, and I figured this out, I don't think they could go if somebody said yes because they're working.
That's right. They got buildings to put
I mean,
up,
would
sure.
they be surprised? Yeah, come on. Well, I can't go now.
Get docked. There's probably some union fine involved with that, sure.
I think so.
Yeah.
Wouldn't it be great to just bring some guy in a hard hat to your grandmother's on a Sunday? He asked me. I couldn't turn him down. Felipe, is it? I don't know.
Now, now tell me about your family. Do they know what you're doing?
Oh, why? What have you heard?
Well, I mean,
Do they know what I'm doing?
they
What,
understand
they
it?
live in a cave somewhere? No, they don't understand.
well, see,
it.
my mom not sure what I do.
She's not sure what
No,
you
she's
do?
not sure what I do.
Come on.
She knows that it's show business.
Why don't you call her up and see if she'd be excited?
No, it's it's
She knows it's show business.
she knows it's show business. Might be the circus, might not be. She just
In other words, there are no categories here.
no.
It's show
it's
business.
show business. You're in it or you're not in it.
And you can't get a credit card, and that's it.
That's right.
Yeah.
So, but your folks know pretty much what you're up
I
to.
think so. The thing about my parents is great. As long as I don't ask for money, they don't care what
Yeah,
I do.
yeah.
I think they probably like it. You know, it was very strict when I was growing up, so it's very exciting for me to be so loose now. No, I'm kidding. It's just very nice to have your own life, I think. Because everyone, I love my parents and they're wonderful people, but they were strict, and I used to look for ways to get even. Like when I got my own apartment for the very first time and they came to stay with me for the weekend, I made them sleep in separate bedrooms.
Yeah.
It was great. Yeah, well, my mother said to me, she said, "What, are you crazy? I've been sleeping with this man for years." I said, "Look, I don't care what you do on the outside."
So everyth's good with them.
Everything's great with them, yeah.
What are they like? What are they fun people?
What are they like?
Yeah.
They're midgets. They're a lovely couple. They're nice. My
Yeah.
mother bakes laundry and just regular people. And my father's an escaped Russian ballerina. It's an exotic family. I'm
Yeah,
very
unusual
happy.
match, yeah.
And my brother's gay, and my parents don't care as long as he marries a doctor. It's no
So
trouble.
they're okay.
They're fine.
Just
They're
run of the
wonderful.
mill, like Ward and June, pretty much.
Ward
Pretty
and
much,
June.
yeah.
No. Well, maybe.
And how long are you going to be at the bottom line?
I'm going to be at the bottom line for one night and a wonderful evening of comedy. There
Uh-huh.
are other comedians and myself. And I think
Terrific.
it'll be fun.
I'm sure it will be.
Oh,
Thank
good.
you very much for being here.
Thanks for having me.
Elaine Boozler and I will be right back. Hi, and welcome the show. 1 week from tomorrow night, elevator races. We're not on tomorrow night, are we? 1 week from tomorrow night. My thanks to the studio audience. What a wonderful group of folks. Also, Mr. Tom Carvel, Mary Beth Hurt, good luck with her dog. Elaine Boozler, ladies and gentlemen, our announcer Bill Windle, Paul Schaefer and the band, and have a nice weekend. We'll see you Monday. Good night, folks. Thank you, Paul. My next guest opens tomorrow night in Atlantic City and has just finished writing a feature film entitled Summertime. Please welcome a very talented and funny comedian, Elaine Boozler. Hi. How are you? Have a seat. Thank you very much. Nice to see you again. How are your holidays?
Fine, thanks.
Whoa.
Oh, how are yours?
Well, I nearly pitched forward on my face.
Yep.
Things were good, the holidays?
The holidays were good. I have to correct, I didn't write the film. It was written already, and then they, yeah, well, I didn't write that either, so. It was written, and I had to just punch it up, meaning just make it a little funnier, so that's the difference.
Okay, so when people see this movie, it'll be much funnier than it,
Oh,
than
yeah.
it was.
I think the credit says funny stuff by, so
Oh,
it should be
good
fun.
for you.
The holidays were fine. They were really nice, and it was interesting. My boyfriend decided to cook a turkey, you know, make a big dinner, which was very nice. I've never seen a man offer to do that I ever knew. Did you ever
Ever what?
cook a big dinner for a bunch of people?
Yeah, I have done that.
Really? And it worked out well?
Well, it worked out, you know, the expectation is less, I think, when I'm in charge, but yeah, it worked out all right.
Come on.
No, it worked out all right.
Well, he was great. I offered to help. You know, he had a 25-pound frozen turkey, and I said, I'll help you. And he said, I'm going to do the whole thing. And he invited 20 people to eat at 8 o'clock, and people were starved, and it was 9 o'clock. And I said, what's happening? And he said, I just want everyone to be here. You're not going to eat before everyone shows. Finally, the last people came at 9:30, and he looked out. He said, everybody's here? Okay, I'm going to put the turkey in the oven now.
Yeah.
So, long way to go,
It's a
David.
long night,
Long
well, sure,
way to
but
go.
you got to take the trip occasionally.
I guess so.
Now, I know you just got back from Europe, huh?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I met a guy there who offered to cook a turkey for me.
What time did he put it in?
Yeah.
I don't know. That's exactly what we meant. I can do that. Hold it. I'll clear this auditorium. I'm sorry.
You're not going to do any stuffing jokes
No,
now,
no.
are you?
It was a mistake. I made just a mistake there, and I'm sorry.
Actually,
Now-
what have you heard? Because
No. Now you were in Paris.
Yes, I was in Paris, and of course in Paris they put it in more than once, as you wouldn't know. So, oh no, that's terrible. It was fun. I had a good time. Can I go now?
Now you get to stay here and finish your performance.
Paris was lovely.
What are the men like over there?
They're French.
French men, huh?
Yeah, and they're very sexy. They're very, they are. They sound beautiful. I was sitting in a restaurant by myself. I ordered a turkey, and it was lovely. This very handsome man at the next table just leaned over. It was so romantic. He said, Pardon, mais est-ce que c'est le nez ou est-ce que tu manges une banane? Isn't that fabulous?
Yeah, yeah.
It's really nice. Est-ce que c'est ton nez ou est-ce que tu manges une banane? I just melted. It was wonderful.
yeah.
So, that means, is that your nose or are you eating a banana?
Yeah, darn.
Yeah, so
Now, you've many years been performing as a stand-up.
yes, I think since the early 50s when your
since-
show went
yeah,
on. is
but we
when I
started about the same time. Now, which do you prefer? The writing? You do more and more writing now, or the stand-up?
I like the writing now because you don't have to leave home. Your plants don't all die, and you don't have to be on the road that much, which is nice. And it's steady. You know, the money comes in, which is real nice because it's hard now. I read an interesting thing in a magazine. It said well, I thought it was interesting. The amount of people that are unemployed in this country are the same amount of people who are impotent, which I thought was so interesting. I thought, what kind of jobs did they have before? You know.
Is that an
It's
actual
a fact.
statistic?
10,000 people are unemployed and 10,000 people are impotent. I hope it's not the same people for both. 'Cause
No.
that would be an awful lifestyle, I think.
Yeah. Yeah.
Yeah, I mean, I'm just trying to, stay home and just have a little bit of a life instead of traveling. I cooked for the first time, too. I don't often do that. And I made a big party on Christmas, which was real nice. And I haven't cleaned it up yet.
Oh, well,
So,
no.
I just left home instead.
Yeah.
I can't get into it. I disguise things now. I don't clean them, I disguise them. Somebody spilled a big glass of red wine on the white rug, and I just got a piece of chalk and made an outline of a body around it.
That's good.
I don't want to get into it.
Is it my turn? I'm sorry.
Oh, I was just thinking about that turkey.
No, I'm sorry. Now, tell me about your boyfriend. I've met the gentleman. Is everything all right there?
Well, if you met him, why'd you say gentleman? Yeah, he's fine. Everything's fine. It's swell. Can I go now?
Well, yeah.
Yeah?
It's the same boyfriend?
Same boyfriend as the last time I was here.
Yeah,
Yes, he's the same guy. He's still Jewish. Everything's the same. He's a good guy,
Okay. Is there in summing up, anything we have missed here that we should cover?
Well, I could tell you about the movie.
Tell me about the movie.
How long do we have?
How long do we have?
40 seconds.
We have 40 seconds.
It's a short, and it's a good movie. It's directed by a guy named Ken Wiederhorn, who's a real good director. And have you heard of him?
No.
He's done The Godfather and E.T. No, he's good. It's a real nice guy, and he has 2 children, in fact, 3 years old and 5 years old, and they don't have any first names yet because he's trying to find something that goes with Wiederhorn. But what a night for me, huh?
Everything's fine. What's the matter? You all right?
I'm fine.
Oh, sure. What the hell? It's just TV anyway.
Oh.
We got to go. This, of course, is Elaine Boosler. She'll be tomorrow night in Atlantic City.
Yeah, with Natalie Cole.
Natalie Cole, and the motion picture is called Summertime. And we have to pause, but we'll be right back. Thank you. We have to go. I want to thank, of course, my guests, Elaine Boosler, Michael Nesmith, and Fran Lebowitz, and, of course, my thanks to you, the studio audience. You folks are terrific, as always. Mr. Bill Wendell and also Paul Schaefer. Have a good weekend. We'll see you. Bye-bye. Paul, nicely done. What a night, ladies and gentlemen, and we're not done yet. My next guest is presently appearing for the next 2 weeks here in New York City at Caroline's. A very funny woman. Please welcome Elaine Boosler.
That's the key to the dressing room. Paul Schaefer's dressing room. Well, his wallet's in it. I thought it was a nice idea. And hi. Wow, what an exciting week in the news. It's Bob Rooney Day. And what else happened in the paper? I read we got a new head of the Environmental Protection Agency. Thank goodness, because Ann Burford did nothing. Shame on her. She couldn't clean up one dump site with $1 billion. Can you imagine what this woman's apartment must look like? Just like Reagan to appoint a woman to clean up, huh? But the thing was, he appointed the wrong woman. He got a rich white woman. What does she know about cleaning up for other people? He should have got a little old black woman. All right, we have 50 states here. Oh, I know my job, child. Make sure you get Pennsylvania. Oh, I don't do canals. Ann Burford got married while she was in office, and there was a big picture of her and her husband in People magazine. And the caption was, and I didn't make this up, it was in there, he said, I married Ann because I believed that she could walk on water. That's because she knows where the oil drums are. I think she should have married James Watt because they have so much in common. Like they both hate the environment so much. I think James Watt was made Secretary of the Interior because he has never been outdoors in his entire life. The thing about Watt is I realized why he's so bad to the earth. He's bald. You don't put a man in charge of the environment who has lost his hair because he's already at nature. See that forest? Pave it. You see, a couple of weeks ago, Watts didn't want the Beach Boys to play in Washington. He said they bring in the wrong element. What's the Beach Boys element? Some kids in cutoffs laying on the grass, listen to the music, right? He wanted to bring in Wayne Newton and get the Las Vegas element. You ever see the element in Las Vegas? It's a 350-pound bald man walking around in Bermuda shorts and a Hawaiian shirt, searching with his fly open for a $5 hooker and a 99-cent buffet. President Reagan has his own wonderful ideas about what to do. You know, he wants to take sex education out of the schools. He says he believes that sex education causes promiscuity. Like if you have the knowledge, you'll use it. I disagree. I took algebra. I never do math. He wants to pass the Human Life Amendment, make life a little more tense for women. You know what that amendment says? It says an unborn fetus becomes a human being as soon as the woman lights up a cigarette. I think women get the short end of the stick sometimes. Look at advertising. I mean, they invent things that we don't even need. Have you seen these things advertised on television called Any Days? Things to wear for when you're not having it? Can anybody explain the need for these things? New Any Days. Why be uncomfortable just 5 days out of the month? It's like they scare us into buying these products. I walk in the supermarket, big signs, feminine protection. What are there, pink guns in these boxes? The names they give these things, you've seen that shampoo? Gee, your hair smells terrific. What kind of name is that? Hope that company doesn't make any feminine hygiene products this year. Now, they have the home pregnancy test. Really brilliant thing this is. Right on the cover of the home pregnancy test, it says, for use in the privacy of your own home. Gee, I was going to drive to a crowded shopping center. Hey, is this parking space taken? I have to do some testing here this afternoon. Reading Time magazine, the new form of birth control for women. They've been working on this for years. It's for women, birth control. You know what it is? A sponge. Thanks a lot. I mean, anything in this country to make sex seem more like doing the dishes. Well, if you look at how they sell products to women, it's not very logical. You walk past a department store, you look in the window, all the mannequins are lifelike now. Have you seen they're making them physically correct? This braless look on the mannequins, they put a sweater on them, little points. Have you seen that? I mean, why would I buy a sweater that can't even keep a mannequin warm? I think people have trouble understanding each other. I guess it starts when you're young. You know, I mean, men read men's magazines, and they really don't give a real good image about what women are. I mean, you look at Hustler, and you could... Well, I buy Hustler because I like to hide the New York Post in something on the way home. I mean, Hustler is really rude. Where do they even get those girls? How could anybody do that while their parents are still alive? Playboy's ridiculous. I mean, they never want you to think the pictures are posed, right? We just happened to catch Kathy typing, nude on top of a Volvo in a field. Bad thing about Playboy, it gives men the wrong idea about what women do when we're home alone. Makes you think we all sit on the couch, very introspective, like this. It's like she never saw it before. Where did this thing come from? Oh, there's two. I'm breaking out.
Nice job, Elaine. Very nice. We'll be right back.
Thank you, Paul. Our next guest has been with us many times before, and it's always a pleasure to have her back. An extremely funny person. She will soon be appearing right here in New York City at a club called The Other End. Please welcome back Elayne Boosler.
Thank you. I've been walking around this city all day. It's such a beautiful time of year to walk around Manhattan. It's so sunny and cold, and I'm a little blue. I wish I had somebody. I'm tired of dating. I've been dating for 15 years. I'm tired of waking up 10 miles from my own toothbrush, you know. You just wake up. The worst is on the weekends. If you stay out and you wake up someplace else and you have to put on your clothes again from Saturday night. Nice V-neck black dress, black high heels, big gold belt, long earrings. It's Sunday morning now. You look like the whore of Babylon. Get on the bus to go home. Everybody's dressed for church. You get on the bus, they cover their children's eyes. Mommy, who's that? It's the whore of Babylon. Don't look. The reason I go home so early after waking up is I have to get some sleep, you know, because on these nights with another person, I don't know about you people, but I can't get good sleep with somebody I don't know well. Men are wonderful. Men are comfortable. Men fall asleep. Good night. Oh, they're out there. Oh, not me. I'm posing in case he wakes up. Hello. Hey, good morning. I don't know, the man's been good to me. I don't want him to catch me drooling on the pillow first night out. I don't want him to wake up first and see this. And this holding business, very uncomfortable. Men are wonderful. They want to, you know, they want to show you they care. They want to hold you all night. Listen, it's not comfortable. I think you should make love and go to your corners. This holding thing, it's like Marxism. It works in theory, not in practice. You get locked in here, the man starts to fall asleep, you're wide awake, and he goes into those jerk sleeps, and beats the hell out of you. It's like, hey, buddy, you want to pull a cab or what? Hey, come on. Get locked, and your only hope for sleep is to get into his rhythm of breathing, right? But their lungs are twice as big as ours. I start to pass out. He's not ready for another breath yet. And then when men let it out, they don't take another breath for a long time. And I start to think, he's dead. Men breathe very strong from 6 inches away. You got that gust of air coming in your eye every 8 seconds. I'm there thinking, I can't believe this is happening to me. I'll never sleep again. Turn my head, it's coming in my ear now. I feel like I fell asleep in front of the Fedders display at Sears. I should have streamers blowing off my nightgown. It's hard. No better having the guy stay at your place because men are strange. They wake up and they want breakfast and they don't eat candy in the morning like we do. They want things like toast and I don't have these recipes. I could give you some M&Ms on a bagel. That's the best. Well, you don't need me to tell you relationships are hard. What is divorce? 1 out of 2 couples now? 50%? It's a lot. I'm 30. I've never been married. I just say I'm divorced so people won't think there's something wrong with me. Hard to date divorced men. They're very sensitive from the divorce. You can't say anything right. Hey, hun, nice day, don't you think? I don't want to make a commitment. Forget it if you do anything the wife ever did once. They go crazy. What are you doing? Breathing. She breathed. I'm breathing different than her. I'm breathing in a more supportive way towards you. I just ended a 3-year relationship. Sometimes you're sad when you end them, but this one I knew it was over. We finished making love. I looked at him. I thought I could have had a V8. I don't know how you keep sex interesting for 3 years. People are married for 30 years. How do you keep sex interesting for 30 years? Hats? What do you do? I don't know. 3 years, I was bored. I'm reading books. Yeah. Books say, you want to keep sex interesting? Oh, tell the person what you want. How do you tell them you want somebody else just for Oh, honey, please. No? Well, can we call each other Spanish names, perhaps? I think people shouldn't make demands when you're making love. People should enjoy it the way they want to enjoy it. I don't like when people ask me for things in the middle, you know, because sometimes you're not expecting it. It's funny. You'd be out there enjoying yourself, hear somebody say, ooh, talk. Sometimes you get real brave because you're enjoying yourself and you do talk, and the most embarrassing thing in the world happens. Person doesn't hear you when they stop and say, what? They have to look this person in the face with no passion at all and say, I said, ooh, baby, ah.
Nice to see you. I really appreciate you coming out on Columbus Day.
On Columbus Day? I forgot it was Columbus Day. I thought the reason the banks were closed and all the flags were waving was because James Watt resigned.
Yeah. Big holiday here.
This is the truth. I saw trees clapping in the breeze today. You know how branches usually wave like this?
Sure.
They were going, we're going to live. You know?
Well, that's touching. You look great.
Oh, thank you very
Nice
much.
to see you again. Let me do this and we'll come right back.
Okay.
We'll be back, folks. Don't worry. Thank you, folks. Nice job, Elaine. Very funny. Nice to see you again. You're going to be at the other end?
Uh-huh.
Okay. Well, have fun down there. Come back and see us when you
will.
can. Also, my thanks to Mr. David Winfield and Carol Kane. Tomorrow night on this program, ladies and gentlemen, you don't even need to change the channel. 24 hours from now, this is where we'll be. We'll have the man who plays drums on anything, David Van Teegum, will be here. Also, Malcolm Forbes and Marv Albert. Have a good evening. Thanks for being here. Good night. Thank you, gentlemen. My next guest has been on this program many times before. We're always delighted to have her here. She's a real talent. She is also a fine comedian and a terrific writer. She is currently appearing in Atlantic City at the Golden Nugget Hotel. Please welcome Elaine Boosler.
Thank you. Oh, I love doing this show. I'm sharing a dressing room with the sushi guy, and we had a wonderful conversation for that. Hi, nice to be here. Actually, it's nice to be here with Grace Slick because her music got me through college in the 60s. And it was exciting to really finally meet her because I did so many psychedelic drugs in college. This is the first time I ever realized that she's not twin. So, it was nice. I feel good. I feel so good. I mean, it's such a nice point in my life now, you know. I go to bed every night. I just lay down, pull up the covers, and every single night before I fall asleep, I say to myself, oh, there's no school tomorrow. I never thought that would really happen. I'll be 90 going, now homework tonight. You know? I hated school. I was terrible at math. I couldn't pass a math test because they always said show all work on a separate piece of paper. I used to draw a picture of me looking at someone else's paper. I went to college in Florida, which is where all New York kids go who can't get into college. They have some good schools down there. Boy, I spent 2 years in Tampa. I tried to transfer. Only Sears would take those credits. I think I've been thinking about school so much because I'm thinking about kids a lot. You know, I'd really like to have kids, and, you know, I'm getting older. Time's running out. I mean, I'm 31. I have 8 eggs left. I look at men differently. In my 20s, I'd see a guy, I'd say, oh, he's cute. Now I'm 31. Anybody crosses the street, I said, he made it across. He could be a father. All my friends have kids. It's so nice. And they all had natural childbirth. No drugs at all till the kids turned 2. They're all breastfeeding, which is kind of nice, but I don't think women should do it in restaurants. I mean, you're in a restaurant with your boyfriend. Someone's breastfeeding at the next table. He can't find anything that looks good on the menu after that. He always says something like, look, I'll just have what he's having. It's hard. I worry about getting older, you know. I think maybe men age a little better than women. No matter how old a man gets, no matter what he looks like, you always see him walking down the street with a woman, you know. But the older women get, the harder we have to work out. Of course, there just doesn't seem to be any leeway for our looks. Isn't that so? You never see a man walking down the street with a woman who has a little pot belly and a bald spot right here. I mean, there's not a man in the world who would sleep with a woman who had one hair wrapped it around her entire head. So drives me crazy, you know. And, I mean, I know what I would like from someone. I think it's harder to find the right person when you already know what you want. And it's very simple. I don't want much. I don't care what a man looks like. I don't care what he does for a living. I just need a guy when we go to the beach and he comes out of the ocean. I need a guy that does not go... I noticed David didn't do that. I couldn't believe it. It's the only man I've ever seen not do that. Men don't hide that move. They wait till everybody's looking. Wow, babe, that water is great. Yeah, I don't know how to meet the right person. I mean, I travel alone all the time, so it's kind of hard. I'm on the road by myself, and it doesn't bother me. I don't mind living alone, traveling alone. I just hate eating out in restaurants alone. It's very difficult because hostesses are very loud. Just one? No more. They're parking. It's so hard. I mean, why do they have to say just one? You never get one. You get just one. That's such a big just. It lays on your chest. Just one, like it was nothing to have lived this long. Just one tonight? Oh, no, I've been a loser all my life. Just one for dinner? No, there was one for lunch and one for breakfast, too, today. Why don't they ever say just two like you should be with more people? Two's not such a crowd, huh? Just two on a Saturday night? Popular couple, follow me. You want the no smoking or the no friend section, you two? Just one. You want to hear the worst? Ready? Party of one. Yeehaw! You have a table facing a mirror so I don't have to eat alone. You get past the hostess, you think you're safe. You're not safe. You sit down, the busboy comes over. One. Yes, this man takes everything off the other side of the table. Knives, forks. You came in alone. Damn it, you're eating this meal by yourself. I'm easy. Get a buzzsaw. Cut the table in half. I don't want to bother him. I'd like to get some money. I would like to open a restaurant for single people, for people who live alone. You call it Just One. You walk in, nice long row of sinks. None of this tables and chairs. Everybody eats standing over the sink. All the food comes in the package so you can read the back while you're eating. Yeah, that'd be nice. Oh, thank you, thanks. I just got lost. Oh, we took a piece out. I'm sorry, I had to fight with the censor. We took a piece out because there was a word, a body part.
Come on, do it.
Well, this is NBC. They don't let you say brains on television, so... Wait a minute, isn't this the network with We Got It Made? So, what are you booing me for? No, it's just I didn't understand why I couldn't say the word because Ruth Westheimer says it 50 times a night, and I said, I guess on NBC you can only say if you have an accent. Am I finished now? Look, I was facing David when I said it, so no one will even see it when they bleep it. They won't even know what happened. So it's fine. I don't understand how words can do damage. I think it's so ridiculous to think that sex is a bad thing to talk about. Violence is a bad thing, and I don't even think we should use words as a curse. Makes no sense to use a four-letter word as a curse. It's the nicest thing in the world. Someone cuts you off on the road, you wish them the nicest possible thing on the planet. I'll tell you dirty words. We need new curses, things that would really mean something. Something like, oh, yeah? Well, audit you, buddy. Thank you.
Now they will let Ruth say it, but they won't let you say it. That's silly, isn't it?
I know.
Yeah, well,
I think
I'll
it's
help
silly.
you fight this.
Yeah?
You're at the Golden Nugget in Atlantic City now through when?
Now through next week.
Next week.
The whole
Have a
week.
nice time over
Thank
there,
you.
Elaine.
Congratulations on your
Thank you
2-year
very much.
anniversary. It was wonderful.
Thank you for coming by. Come back anytime. Tomorrow night, ladies and gentlemen, Robert Klein will be here, balloon artists Bob and Etta Rollins, and Virgin Islands Week continues, and we'll also have the Russian psychic Lev Schneider and the electronic surveillance team here tomorrow. So good night.
Thank you.
part 2 of an exclusive interview with Mick Jagger on Friday Night Videos.
Thanks, Paul. My next guest is a good friend and a very funny writer and comedian. She will be appearing for 2 weeks here in New York City at Caroline's beginning March 5th. It's a pleasure to have her back on the show. Please say hello to Elaine Boosler.
Thank you. Thanks a lot. What a great show. B.B. King, he's so great. And the Grammys, that was a pretty good show. There was some dissension. Some black people thought that it was kind of not really nice that they separated some of the categories, best black female singer, white female singer, and they thought it was discrimination. I thought it was a compliment because it was the only way white people would have won anything in gospel. There's not much of a contest between, oh, there's an angel watching over me, and Denise Williams going, ah, Jesus. I watched the show to see Prince because, I'm a fan, and I always was thinking, well, I wonder if he's gay, and so I put the show on. He had all this teased up hair and eye makeup on and a lace blouse and big earrings, and I was attracted to him, and I thought, I wonder if I'm gay. Springsteen was gorgeous, wasn't he? He's so hot. I know everybody fantasizes about him, but you don't really want to get him because what could you do that's new? Nan's been around the world 10 times, dated 20 million women. I mean, even if you invited him to dinner and made an alligator steak and a guppy moose and opened the door nude on stilts with a plumber's helper and a duck on your head, he's going to come in and go, oh, deja vu. I shouldn't be thinking about him because my announcement is that after all these years of championing living alone and loving it, and I live with someone for the first time in 30 years, I live with someone. It's killing me. It's turning me into my mother. I can't believe it. It is. This is the man I love. I say things to him like, did you find that towel on the couch? She's taken over. The kitchen is closed. I'm sorry, babe. I'm sorry. But I always notice in all my relationships, maybe in yours too, that there's always one partner who says I love you a lot more than the other partner, which would be fine if they would say it and move on. But they wait for an answer, and I run out early, He always starts it. He starts in the morning. And, I love you. 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 Okay. Gaining some weight because you live with a man, you eat like a man. They're there. You starved your whole life to get one. Now you start eating. Watch this. Plus, there's something wrong with men because they can buy groceries, put them in the house, and not eat everything the first day. Did you know this? It's unbelievable to me. I've seen this man put food on shelves, walk out of the kitchen. What, is there ink in this guy's veins? Who is this? So we're sitting on the couch. He's watching TV. My head's in the kitchen. It's burning a hole. I say to him, you gonna eat your chocolate now? You know what he says? Maybe later. Maybe later? Do you know the expiration date on that stuff? Don't you think you should just maybe? Middle of the night, who comes down, eats all the food? I do. He comes down in the morning, honey, the food's gone. Gee, what else did they get? So I can't have a kid. I would eat all its food. It would be awful. I felt so much pressure about having a kid, but now I don't because, they give you more time. They can freeze one of your eggs and put it in the freezer and defrost it when you're ready. I hope they wrap it in plastic instead of foil so you know what you're getting into. It would be awful to reach for the meatloaf and wind up parents, Did you want me? Actually, I was going for the veal. Well, did the stork bring me close? Bird's eye. We waited a long time for this baby. Diaper rash? No, freezer burn. I can't have a baby with a man who reads Playboy, though. That's what's holding me back. He's reading Playboy. I had such a fight last week. I said, what are you reading this for? First of all, January Playboy. There's a huge breast on the cover, and on it says, what makes 60 Minutes tick? Who knew? So you open Playboy. I said, why do you read this? He said, well, the poses are very natural. I looked at the pictures. I said, yeah, they're natural. I know. I always take off my pants before I lean back into the car to see if I left anything. Because pictures are supposed to have logic. You can't just look at the picture. You have to think, what led up to this picture? All right, she got her pants off. She remembers there's a Springsteen tape on the front seat. Grab a towel. Come on, there's time. Pictures are great. I love politics. The thing that's amazing is they're always naked in a fur coat. It's not logical. There are some clothing steps that have been missed here. It's like, gee, I'm cold and I'm naked. I guess I'll put on a fur coat. Hey, how about a sweatshirt? Oh. I was thinking of getting a fur coat because it's always cold in New York, and all my friends said, you can't kill an animal for the fur. That's terrible. They all have leather jackets on. Apparently it's more humane to just shave the animal and turn it inside out. You know, Hugh Hefner's daughter took over Playboy. She's in charge now, and she's an ardent feminist. And you really can see her influence because now on the jokes, the Playboy party jokes, all the limericks start, there was a young person from Nantucket. I love politics. Speaking of politics, did you see President Reagan's State of the Union speech a couple of weeks ago? It was interesting. He used a great phrase. He said that he hoped Congress would appropriate funds for the, ready? Peacekeeper missile. Doesn't that sound like axe murderer, babysitter? People are so defense-oriented now that even products that have nothing to do with defense, they put a defense sale on them, you know? Especially women's products. They want to appeal to these strong women of the 80s and walking past this little innocent box of pink tampons in the market. Big black letters on the front that says, for your security and your protection. I thought, wow, this is great if you don't have a doorman building. Put these outside the embassy in Beirut. Why not?
We'll be right back.
We're nearly out of time. Elaine, nice job. Very funny as always. You'll be at Caroline's for 2 weeks beginning March 5th.
Yes.
Nice to see you again. Thank you for being here. Monday night, remember, it's a big show. The Go-Go's, Belinda Carlisle, Arnold Schwarzenegger, Larry Miller. It's a repeat. Save the trouble. Good night. Our next guest is an extremely funny woman. She will be taping her very first cable television concert this Saturday night at the Bottom Line in New York City. Please give a warm welcome to comedian Elaine Boosler. Elaine!
Thank you. That makes me feel much better. I've been very depressed since Springsteen got married. I don't know why. It's not like I had a chance with this guy or anything. He had several phone books to get through before he came to my number, but he's been married 2 weeks, which is a golden anniversary in rock. And I can't picture him married, you know? I just don't see Springsteen in a furniture store looking at swatches. What do you think, honey? The cream-colored couch? Oh, no. How do you marry a rock star that tours the world? Okay, babe, I'm going to work. Oh, have a good year. So, summer in New York, get to take your jackets off. There's nothing more challenging to a woman in a T-shirt than walking down the street trying to make it to the corner alive. You really do get harassed, you know. It seems on every block there's some seedy character polishing his tattoos with Crisco, smoking a cigarette, and they all say the same thing. Ooh, can I go with you? You know, sometimes I really want to stop and say, what do you think? To be fair, I really have to admit that once in a while you get a great line thrown at you. Last summer I was walking down the street in New York and this guy looked at me and he said, my compliments to your breasts. I thought it was great. I said, thanks, I'll tell him. Then of course he had to push it. Yeah, well, I'd like to tell him in person. Yeah, well, they're sleeping now. It's amazing how they use breasts to sell everything in this country, even things that have nothing to do with breasts, you know? You open a magazine for a car ad, there's a car and a woman with huge breasts next to the car, trying to connect breasts to the car for you guys. Like a man's gonna wake up the next day and say, "Ooh, I gotta buy that car. Oh, maybe I'll buy 2 cars and park them really close together." I think that's how they got the astronauts to go to the moon. Look, men, we think there's breasts up there. Okay, we'll go. We'll risk all that. Now these Calvin Klein obsession ads, nude woman, 3 men in bed. It's one thing in a magazine, but they're blowing them up and putting them on bus stops now. You're standing there 10 o'clock at night. Who needs it? I didn't even see the ad the other night. I was leaning against it. I noticed this guy looking at me. I thought, what's... Turned around. I come right up to the woman's chest. Her breasts are resting on my head. I look like a mouseketeer. I think it's easier for guys. I think men have more leeway than women. Just in life, they can just be more relaxed, you know? I mean, you never see a woman come out of the ocean and do this. I wouldn't think of doing that. Men think nothing of it. They draw more attention to themselves. Wow, the water's great. No, please. Men think it's cool. They do it in your face and talk to you. You bring fruit? No. Imagine a woman trying to get away with this. Like you to meet my wife. Hello! Gotta go. Here's another noise you never hear from women. We don't do that. I got a skirt on. I'm just not gonna do it. I wouldn't even know when would be the appropriate time to have to do that. How bad does it have to be? Popcorn, Angora? What do you need to go... The thing that amazes me about guys is they just go right to it. They don't try anything else first. It doesn't go, no, they just go, hey, and there it is. Women only do one noise. Remember the girls in school who could sneeze like this? I tried it once. I blew my contacts out of my eardrum. Oh, I saw rainbows. I saw the Beatles get back together on that sneeze. Some girls were so dainty they made no noise. Wow, bless you. Maybe they could find each other. Hello. Hi. Here's another thing men do that women don't do. Women never take guitar solos in their underwear in front of the mirror when they're home alone. All men have done this. My boyfriend watches TV with props. If he's watching football, he holds a football. Like Tom Landry's going to turn around. Jeez, this game's a mess. Steve, get in here. He's watching a baseball game. He's right there with a bat and a glove. I'm in the kitchen. I hear my own boyfriend say, "Got it." I came running out. Whatever show he's watching, he holds the appropriate thing. I came in the other night. He had Dr. Ruth on. I said, "Hey, hands on the table." I think men take driving more personally than women do. There's another difference. I don't know. You cut a woman off in a car, she'll say, "Oh, what a jerk." A man will follow you to Japan. Just to catch up and go. My father was crazy. My father would risk the whole family's life if somebody cut him off. Guy would cut him off. My father would catch up to the guy, kids in the car, 60 miles an hour, stare at the guy. The guy would stare at him. Here's 2 idiots driving their loved ones into trees now. Daddy, look out! He tried to kill our family. I'll do it. My father drove like that, my brother, my uncles. I said, why are these guys so attached to their cars? And I was reading a magazine article, and the psychiatrist said a car is actually an extension of the male organ. I thought, maybe that's why men hate when you cut them off. I think summertime men like to follow women down. Summertime men like to follow women down the street in their cars and try to pick them up. And I notice year after year it never changes. It's always the same conversation. Hey, sweetheart, where you going? Slow down. How? I think I'm in love. Listen. You want to go for a ride? You're really pretty. No? You ugly cow? Do you know why women don't yell out of their cars to pick up guys? Do you know why we don't?
because they would get in our cars.
Elaine, you were very funny. Thank you very much. Good night, folks. We'll see you next week. Bye-bye. Thanks, gentlemen. My next guest is a terribly funny woman. She is a fine writer and a comedian. She is currently working in a movie called The Return of Billy Jack. Please say hello to Elaine Boosler. How you been? Let me see. What's going on? What's new in your life? Haven't seen you in a while. Everything all right?
Yeah, I was glad that I didn't make the show yesterday because it gave me
Supposed to be on last night.
Yeah. But you find out who your friends are when you get bumped. I got 5 phone calls today, including my parents and my agent saying that I was great.
Oh, yeah. That stinks. That's
yeah,
no
I
good.
know.
Yeah.
But it gave me an extra night to walk around the city. And I passed the new Playboy Club. You know, they have male
Sure, just
bunnies
reopened.
for the first time.
Yeah.
That's right. I don't know. I didn't go in, but I don't think I could get hot looking at a guy dressed up as a rodent. But they don't call them bunnies. They call them rabbits. Did you know that?
No, I didn't know that.
I heard
the males are the rabbits.
the males are the rabbits.
Yeah.
I heard Hugh Hefner on the radio say the reason he calls them rabbits is he thinks it's much more masculine than calling them bunnies. Oh, I think so. Hey, I'm not a bunny. I'm a rabbit. So it works for me, and I love coming back here. I was looking at the Post. I heard that Rupert Murdoch sold the New York Post to buy 20th Century Fox. That can only mean one thing: Wingo the movie. I guess for people who don't live here, we should tell them what the Post
It's
is.
a bit, it's like a newspaper. It's
Like a newspaper.
it's for beginners, I think.
Oh, yeah. I just put it this way. I think most people buy Hustler to hide the Post in something on the way home.
That's right. Yeah.
I got this one.
I was just going to say, when you come here, do you buy stuff from these people on the streets and so forth?
Oh, it's unbelievable. I almost didn't make it. I stopped 4 times for earrings on a street corner
Yeah.
today. You can buy them on every street corner in New York. And I think it's a plot to slow down the women's movement. You know, it's like, I was going to go to that ERA rally, but there were so many cute pairs to choose from. You know? It's embarrassing that I can buy myself off so cheap. If I don't feel good, I can buy earrings and feel better. And people don't understand it. Men don't understand it.
Yeah.
You know, my boyfriend will say, they look like the earrings you have. And I say, a man goes deer hunting for 10 years. The deer he shoots this year doesn't look different than the deer he shot last year.
Pretty much the same deal
This is
there.
fresh kill. That's what we're talking about.
So did you have a nice holiday season?
Yeah, look what I get out of the paper. This was from a Las Vegas newspaper.
Yeah.
This is the man of my dreams. I found this in the paper. This is the guy I want to be with. It says, Gianni Russo offers love and great dining. This is who I want. And then on the bottom, it's even better because it says, Great Dining Plaza is now a late-night showplace.
Oh.
Realize I could have sex, get a piece of fish, and watch you with this guy? It's great.
Where is this? Is in.
It's a Las Vegas place.
But that's not where you spent the holidays.
No, I spent
Oh,
them here, actually,
yeah.
watching football on the couch for 92 days with
Yeah.
Steve.
Are you a big football
Oh,
fan?
yeah. I like it. I think it's enjoyable. I thought the refrigerator was an interesting name for somebody. That made me want to watch. And
Yeah.
he looked different than I expected. You know, I thought he'd be white with all little magnets down his chest. He looked good. He looked okay. I don't think I could have a relationship with somebody named the refrigerator.
Could be tough.
Yeah, I think I'd be looking into his eyes 50 times a day saying, I don't know, there's nothing for me in here. Yeah, I work out a little. I mean, not much. I swim.
Well, I know
a
you
lot.
swim a lot. Yeah.
A lot.
Yeah.
I had a checkup for the first time in a long time, and I do about 2-3 miles a day, and the doctor said you probably added 10 years to your life. Then I went home and realized the whole 10 years was going to be spent in the pool. You know, it's very depressing. I like to work out because I think it's important. I worry about health, especially being single. You date people, and you know everybody thinks about their health, and you wish you could test people before you dated them. But you can't. But you could be sneaky.
Yeah.
You know, you could have your guy come to the door and say, oh, I'll be ready in a second. I'm just sewing a button on this jacket. Oops, pricked your finger. Here, let me get it with the slide. You sit tight.
Run it down to the lab.
Oh, yeah. Take this cotton. We'll get back to you.
I tell you what, we'll do a commercial and then we'll be right back here with Elaine Boosler, folks. that was. Yeah.
Oh, yeah.
What are you working on now?
Oh, I'm doing a movie.
Yeah. Well, that's good.
Yeah, there's no breasts in it. It's quite a change.
Uh-huh.
And, I can't believe every movie in this country is sold on women's breasts, and they never have naked men. Only naked women, you know. I've seen 5 million nude women's breasts in the movies, and maybe Richard Gere's penis through a dense fog. I'm not sure. What's the matter? It's a technical term.
You didn't come here with Eddie Cohen tonight, did you?
No, I didn't.
Yeah. So.
Don't you think? I mean, it's
No,
always the
you're,
same.
I agree. It's
You know?
it's unfair. It's silly to be exploiting that way, and if you're going to do it, it should go both ways.
It's time for the love scene. A woman stark naked, guys in a 3-piece suit, or they'll be rolling around nude, and she's completely naked, and he's somehow blocked out by a French bread on the table or something. You
Right.
know, so
Yeah. Now, why is that?
I don't know why that is. I think, and it never changes. I mean, look at the James Bond films. They don't change. 1986, you won't see a film called Octawini. It's not going to happen.
You know, I think you may have a point there.
You think so?
I think
You're
we're on.
familiar with that.
I think we're onto something here, Elaine. Oh my gosh and golly!
And they could get 50 guys taking a shower in a movie after a football game. They'll shoot them from the chin up.
Right.
And they get a woman nude in a supermarket wheeling a cart through the frozen food aisle. Did you see there was Return of the Living Dead this summer? The poster was zombies coming out of the cemetery. All bones. Skeletons. All bones. And the woman zombie had big breasts.
We're gonna do one more commercial, and then we'll be right back. I'm sorry, we're confused here. All right, we have one little correction here to tonight's otherwise fine program. The lady who brought you the information about the soup of the day was not Carol Collings. Her name is Carol Mark. My apologies to her and her family. Good night. My next guest is a lovely woman, a talented writer and a very funny comedian. It's always a pleasure to welcome her back to this program. Please now say hello to Elaine Boosler.
How are you? You have a little,
Yes. It's a success. It's a success. It's sweeping the nation. The Zippy doll. I bought it downstairs. You couldn't even get near it to get one. 1995.
They're already in the NBC
They were
store, are
killing
they?
each other down there. Here it is. This is for you. This is the baby Zippy. This is the third one.
That's very sweet.
So,
thank you very much.
I made this.
Did that make you nervous thinking about having to come out here with a monkey loose running around?
Oh, you've seen some of the guys I've been.
Well, that's true. But, you know, seriously, ladies and gentlemen, thank you very much, Elaine.
No, I'm really disappointed. I was really looking forward to it.
Well, we'll get him back.
You think?
Well, you don't want to endanger the life of the animal.
Can he just come out and sketch things?
Now, the last time you were here, you were just getting ready to do
A movie. A
movie.
Billy Jack movie.
A Billy Jack
Did you
movie.
read in the paper the movie's on hold? They went halfway through and he got hit in the head with a bottle.
No, I didn't
the only
see that.
actor to get beamed while shooting the scene. This guy's the Minnie Minoso of drama, this guy. Boy, that dates me, doesn't it? I think he was the White Sox. He got beamed more than any other player in the late 50s. which
He'd
is when you were...
take one on the head
A
occasionally.
lot,
Yeah,
yes.
yeah.
And then I think he became an agent or something. But
And what do you play in the film?
well, I don't play anything. The film's on hold.
stopped, yeah.
The Actors Union said they can't continue unless Billy Jack now comes out in a catcher's mask for the rest of the film. So in the first half, he's this vigilante karate Indian, and the second half, he turns his fury on the Dodgers. So they're rewriting it now, and there's such one.
Well, let's keep our fingers crossed.
Oh gosh, yes.
Now, you're in New York. You working? You just here visiting? What are you doing?
I go to the movies all the time. Did you see 9.5 Weeks?
No,
yet?
I didn't see 9.5
Oh,
weeks.
they bill it as the first literary bondage movie. I haven't seen it. I assume this guy ties this girl up with a chain letter. I was walking up Broadway last night and all the porno movies, and there was some porno title, and underneath it said, plus, The Quickie. And I thought, well, it's nice to see they're making shorts again. I like the movies. I was out in L.A. and some friends came to visit. I took them to Grauman's Chinese.
Oh, yeah.
Where they have all the footprints of the stars, and they were all running around putting their feet in the footprints. I thought, what a waste. I laid right down, put my breasts in Clark Gable's hands.
Hey, hold it here. Wait a minute.
You have to make the most of your opportunity.
Yeah.
Yes, I have been walking around.
So,
I've been here a week.
what are you doing in your spare time?
Well, I did a one-nighter, a big special show for Security Pacific Bank, which was the dream of a lifetime to get even with bankers, because
Yeah.
who doesn't hate their bank? See? Everybody, I mean, is that right? I didn't phrase it in a
Yeah,
way that
no, but I
anybody...
think everybody does hate
yeah,
their
I
bank,
think
sure.
people hate their
Yeah.
banks. So here they were, all the bankers, and they said, Miss Boozler, we're ready for the show. And I said, oh, I know you'd like to be entertained now, but I'm going to have to hold these jokes for 10 days.
We'll do a commercial, and then we'll be back here with more of our friend Elaine Boozler, folks. Okay, and now where were we? Tell me about your spare time.
Oh, my spare time.
Spare time.
I walk around the city.
Yeah.
They have great stuff around if you like to laugh. I passed a bus stop and there was a big picture of Imelda Marcos, and underneath that it said, one of the boring homebodies who reads McCall's.
Mm-hmm.
There was an ad for Patty Davis's new book. You know, Patty Davis, the
Yeah.
president's daughter,
Right.
wrote a book. And I really respect her because she wants to make it on her own, so she doesn't use the name Reagan. She just uses the name Patty Davis, the president's daughter. I like to look at the ads in the street. They use sex to sell everything in this
Sure,
country.
you got
It's-
to,
It's
yeah.
unbelievable. But mainly they use breasts to sell everything. Even
Breasts?
cars. Breasts to sell cars. You open a magazine, there's a new car, a woman with huge breasts next to the car. They just want to make that connection in a man's mind, so a month later a man wakes up and says, I'm going to buy that car. Maybe I'll buy 2 of those cars and park them really close together and stick my head in between them. I don't know why.
Stick my head in between them.
It's just a driving term.
Sure. Now we're gonna take a look at some videotape of your
Yes.
cable special.
My big cable special.
Yeah,
that
this is exciting.
Yes, it's extremely exciting. It didn't sell, so what I thought was, since the network always loses viewers to cable, and you're the most innovative show on television, that...
Thank you very much,
Thank
ladies
you.
and gentlemen. Thank you.
Well, we think so.
So you're going to...
I was going to, every time I come on, bring a piece of the special because it's wonderful, and let people set their machines now, and by the end of the year, everybody will own the show.
So you produced your own
I produced
comedy
it with
special.
a brilliant cameraman named Steve Gerbson. I hope that takes care of the $40,000 I owe him. And...
And then you took it around and tried to sell it to these
Yes.
low-rent cable outfits.
Yeah, I felt like it was Avon. It was comedy Avon.
And they wouldn't take it.
No, I felt like, meeting Dagwood Bumstead. They kept slamming the door. And
All right, so we'll take a look at it.
This
This
is
will
the
be a
opening
rare
of the
glimpse.
special.
This may be your one and only chance to see it. What
Ever.
is it called?
It's called Party of One.
Party of One, Elaine Boozler.
Brother Theodore.
I'm watching.
Very good. Here's our next call. Hello, you are on the air.
Hi, Dr. Ruth. It's Elaine Boozler.
Elaine Boozler, the comedian?
Uh-huh.
Do you have a question for me?
Ruth, what's the secret of comedy?
Are you using contraceptives?
Very refreshing, huh?
It sounds to me that since you don't want to be pregnant right now, that there is nothing to worry about. Go and do your show.
Thanks a lot.
Okay. Bye-bye.
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 Well, Theodore, I'm going to go do my show now.
Elaine, you are lovely. Lovely beyond repair.
Yeah, I'm going to go do my show now.
Bye-bye.
Geez, it looks terrific.
Well, that's
Looks like you did a nice job.
That's the first chapter, and then we'll see the next chapter when I'm back.
Well, we'll show a little bit of it each time you show
People
it.
will own the show in a couple of months.
Nice to see you again.
Nice to
Thanks
see
for
you
coming
too.
in.
My pleasure.
We got to do a commercial. We'll be back with an update on the monkey cam. Elaine, nice to see you again.
nice
Thanks
to
for
see you
being here.
too.
Also, thanks to Ruth Westheimer, who was with us earlier. And tomorrow, Tony Randall will be here, comedian Richard Belzer, and Kim Williams from National Public Radio. This is Zippy. This was LNMC. And nice job, Zip. I'm sorry that we had a malfunction here, buddy. Let's quick take him into the control room. Come here, Zippy. Come on, buddy. We'll see you tomorrow night, folks. Thank you very much. Come on, Zippy. Our next guest is a very talented writer and comedian who will be seen this fall in her own special on Showtime. She can also be seen in person this Sunday night at the Comic Strip in El Paso, Texas. Please welcome back Elayne Boosler.
Thank you. Oh, thanks. I swear I ironed this. It's linen, you know. You don't have to iron it. You just have to say you ironed it, and people know that. Thank you. That's it. I brought this out. This is this week's Newsweek to clear up this Elvis problem for David. The reason they have Elvis impersonators for the big celebration is that a lot of people don't know this, but there was a kind of a theory that the statue's face was based on the artist's mother. But if you look at this picture, there's no doubt about it that the model for the Statue of Liberty's face was Elvis Presley. Look at this. That's her sneering over the harbor, and here's the redone version. This is, of course, Elvis in his later years. He's kind of sweating after a Las Vegas gig here, and this is a great magazine. It gives you all the facts. The torch was entirely redone, and to commemorate all the yuppies in the United States, the new torch is mesquite. This has been so commercialized. I have this terrible fear that when they go to unveil the torch, finally, they're going to first have the statue say, "Give me a light." No, Bud Light. Very strange week in the news, huh? I noticed that South Africa had a big vote. They had a chance to integrate their beaches this week, and they decided to keep the beaches segregated. It's kind of strange to me. They don't want black people near them while they're lying under the sun trying to get dark. Well, being a woman in New York City in the summertime, walking down the street is the most exciting thing you can do. It's almost too wonderful for words. Hey, you want to lick my... Oh, Noel Coward. Oh, they have these guys, they grow underground in the wintertime, and they just bring them up in the summer. There's one every 3 blocks. Boy, it's a franchise, apparently, you know? Half a T-shirt, shining their tattoos with Crisco. Their job is to talk in your ear as you go by, and they all say the same thing. Oh, can I go with you? I always want to stop and say, what do you think? What do you think the odds really are? I don't know, 50? No? No? Why don't you buy a lottery ticket? I think the odds are much more in your favor there. It's amazing that, well, once in a while you get a good line thrown at you. I was walking down the street in New York last summer, guy leaning out of his truck. I knew he was going to say something because he looked like he was trying to conjugate, you know. And, I start walking by and he yells out, "My compliments to your breasts." It was great. I said, "Well, thanks, I'll tell him." He said, "Yeah, well, I'd like to tell him in person." Yeah, well, they're sleeping now. Construction workers are the hardest guys in the world to get by. Construction workers want to go with you. "Hey, babe, you're looking really good today. Can I go with you?" "Yes, I want to have sex with a stranger." "Keep the hat on. Come on, let's go." They ask 500 women a day, and 500 women a day say no. That's confidence. I don't think they'd know what to do if somebody said yes. "Oh, babe, you're looking really sweet. Can I go with you?" "Uh-huh." "Oh, can't go now. I'm working." The hardest thing is guys in cars. It's kind of embarrassing. "Hey, you want to go for a ride? You really pretty." "No, thank you. You ugly bitch." Oh, no. Know why women don't yell out of their cars to pick up guys? Know why we don't? Because they would get in our cars. Breasts seem to mean so much when you're walking down the street in this city. Boy, do guys know that women know you do not look in our eyes when we first meet? We do see you go, "How you doing?" We can't do that. Too much distance. Thank you very much.
Well, we'll be right back with Elayne Boosler. Have a seat there, buddy. Okay, welcome back, folks. Nice job, Elayne.
Oh,
nice
yeah,
to see you again. What do you got here?
I have a cat, and it's a new dog. He's it's Stupid Petrix night, and he's real stupid, so I brought him.
What is his name?
Petey.
It's Petey. Hello, Petey. What kind of animal do we have? What
He's,
kind of dog?
he's a boxer. It's
Sweet.
amazing. People don't see puppies in Manhattan. You know, you walk down the street, guys are robbing banks. They go, shake the C notes. They go, a puppy.
Ms. Boozler will be in, where is it, El Paso, Texas?
It's El Paso, Texas, with Jeff Altman and George Miller, as a matter of fact.
Have a good weekend.
Thank
Nice
you.
to see you. Have a nice summer. Thanks to everybody in the studio audience and everybody here, Paul, Bill, and everybody. We'll see you in, about a week? Have a nice, whatever you're going to have. Good night. Thank you.